Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning. Welcome to the Tuesday morning edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope you've all had an amazing trading day yesterday as we kicked off our week with a little bit of sideways price action. But let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's talk a little bit about what the S&P, the NASDAQ, crude oil, gold, and some of those currency markets are doing today. Real quick announcement for Traders Army subscribers tonight is a live Q&A session, so make sure that you bring your microphone and you are ready to participate. So that is 7 p.m. Central. Going to be a great time. And then second announcement, if you're in the Atlanta area, we are doing another Traders Army social gathering. So it's really designed, the hashtag is no pitch, just drinks. It really is just a chance to get together, meet other traders, see what other people are doing. And if it's something you want to learn a little bit more about, I'll put a link in the comment section below for you to register for our Atlanta event. It is next week in Buckhead. So let's go ahead and dive in. Real quick, S&P today, we are down about 1. We set it a new all-time high yesterday. If we move this to the daily chart, you can see we did touch a new all-time high. And kind of what I had spoken about was my fear was that, once we set it a new all-time high, we'd get a little bit of a pullback from that all-time high. I was okay if somebody wanted to take a little breakout above that all-time high. And we've gotten a little bit of a pullback from that region. I was looking at this area down here as a potential reversal point, and that's still the area I'm looking at and identifying. I think that's still a good opportunity, a good shot. If you're so inclined and want to give a short a try today, I wouldn't. I just don't see a reason really to go short. But if you do want to, I guess you could take a breakdown maybe below this area. My fear is that there's just a little bit of demand here that could stop it. Shorting at an all-time high is always a little bit more hairy and something to be concerned with. So just be cautious of that area today. There is, this little supply right here, this little wick over wick area there, formed yesterday in the late afternoon, right around market close, which could be used if you really want to try to take a short. But in reality, I like the long down here a bit better. That was found on a 1-hour chart. And that was the level that I covered in yesterday's DMC, was this area right through here. This is another potential zone where we have a confirmation entry set up. In the NASDAQ, we did not put in a new high. Our high was actually set last week. We were unable to put in a new high yesterday, although we came off of this little area of supply. If you look at this on a smaller time period, like a 15-minute chart, you can see that we might actually have, typically these kind of speed candles tend to get reversed. You might actually have this little area here that could serve for a potential entry. Back up into this zone. Your stop would have to go above the pivot, obviously. And frankly, if you wanted to take a long, I'd be okay if we get a little bit more basing above this region here. We'd need we're getting a bit of basing now. A little bit more basing maybe is a small, short time frame opportunity to get long on that area there on the NASDAQ. In crude oil, so crude oil is marching up. We had put this area down here for a breakout yesterday and did not get the breakout below it. And we're starting to actually march up to our potential 15-minute reversal area. The thing I'm looking at here is this 2 o'clock reversal point. I always look at 2 a.m. reversals. They tend to be some of my favorite times of days, and your stop obviously below the pivot on this one as well. Use pivots to identify good stop opportunities and good stop areas. But I think that one may be a pretty good setup for today. A little nice, healthy little pullback into this region. Old resistance acting as new support, where there's enough traders that have put in their buy orders in that area. So keep an eye on that zone today. In gold yesterday was a violent move. Price came up, hit the target, and then came down within an hour. Came up, hit the entry, came down within an hour, and hit the target. If you wanted to take the breakdown, you got a breakdown. So some people took the reversal, which the reversal was the good trade. And then you've got the breakdown, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candle breakdown. And so price did give you a little bit of movement on that breakdown as well. So either trade, whether you took the reversal or the breakout, worked out okay. Now we're starting to march a bit higher, and so this level here, technically, you might still be able to use again for a confirmation short, but I'm not really comfortable taking that level a second time through. Our trend is kind of sideways to up. We've put in a slightly higher swing low here, and so I'm going to hold off on really adding anything to that one. In the bonds and currency markets, in the bond market, we are still firmly entrenched between our two levels here. We hit our little short off of this, and then we converted to a confirmation style, so that level's still very much in play. Inside of the Aussie, so in the Aussie, we got a little bit of a breakout, and then price just immediately came right back down. So unfortunately, this was one that hit in the Globex session that popped up and then popped right back down. So if you trade the Globex session, that one will sting you a bit because it was now the good news is that your stop was at a position that was fairly tight because you had a pivot right here. So your stop didn't have to be all the way down here. Your stop could be moved up to this region because of that pivot. So a little bit of a small loser on that Aussie. Not a big deal. When I look at the 4-hour time period, this now tells me that this is a really nice, this is the shape I like to see. When I think of my favorite shapes in trading, the bear rally is one of my favorite shapes, right? Bear rallies and bull pullbacks are my two favorite shapes, right? Buying on a pullback to take the next leg higher. Well, this looks to be a bear rally short opportunity right in here. Now, this is not, this is when I start to look for potential Fibonacci numbers, and I'll draw the line from here to here. Now, I don't have the tool up in front of me, but if I just do the normal Fibonacci numbers, I would say that this right here is sitting at about a 38.2 retracement, right? So that's probably about a 38.2 retracement of that level. Let's draw it in there and see. Now, it didn't mean that I caught the level, right? Certainly didn't catch that trade. And yeah, so there's 23.6, there's 38.2, right, of the extremes. And so a 38.2 retracement price is starting to make its move down. Interestingly enough, right here at the at this 50% retracement would be where we've got a very nice area of supply, very nice reversal point. So actually, this is the 50% here, 61.8 up here. So two levels that line up really well. Now, I don't trade using Fibonacci's. Remember that. Fibonacci's don't make my trade decisions. Fibonacci's help me to confirm levels that I may have already identified. And the reason that I use those is because there's enough algorithms out there that do use them. So because I don't have a strong level here to lean on, I'm not going to add something to this. If you are so inclined and you want to give this a try, I'd be okay with a candle-to-candle short at this point. Remember, on a candle-to-candle short, you get short when you get a new candle printed with a lower low, and your stop goes above that candle's high. And then every new candle that's printed, you move your stop down. So I'd be okay with a candle-to-candle short at this point. Those are pretty effective when you don't have a lot of convincing evidence for a level. But I think the better level is the 50% area up here. The euro, we are continuing to march up. There's a couple of levels up above us here. We didn't have any of these levels in play. I didn't feel like it was worth taking the shot, risking our shot at any of these levels. And it feels like we're going to kind of go right through those. So if you want to trade it on the way up, I think that there's opportunity to trade it on the way back up. You might even actually get a little bite. And I don't normally go to the 5-minute chart, but you might actually get a little bite right here. At this little zone, this little region, coming all the way down to the 15-minute. This upper wick right here, and then price coming back down, and then another upper wick here, and price coming back down with, showing me price moving higher. You may get an opportunity at this region, right? And so this would be the smallest you should make that area. You can make it a bit wider if you so choose, but that would be the potential 15-minute area. Obviously, in that case, with it being that close to the pivot, your stop would go below the pivot. Stop would go below the pivot. Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar, we had a nice little breakout on the Canadian dollar, and then it just kind of popped the other direction. So remember our 6 candle rule, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is where our 6 candle rule gets very important. Breakout 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have not taken a very big loss on this position. If you did, then you're not following the rules, right? That's the reason for the 6 candle rule. If it doesn't start moving your direction definitively after 6 candles, get out of the position. So this one was a break even to a small loss, but I still think that this still has room to move higher, and I'd be okay with another bite at the apple on this one. Although our 4-hour is showing me a bit of weakness here in this area of supply, so just kind of keep that one in mind. Next is the pound and the yen. Our pound and yen levels. So the Great British Pound, our breakout on that one is moving extremely well, as price has quite nearly hit our target. So if you hit the pound on that one, then it's starting to kind of make its move to the next side. That one, after you started to get a little bit of movement, price rallied back up, and then in the overnight hour, or yesterday, we came back down and we popped right back up. So that one working out pretty well overall. Based on our yesterday's DMC. So you'd want to look at this level here for a potential reversal on the speed candle getting reversed. So keep that area in mind. We do still have this area up above. If I look at this on a 4-hour time period, we put in a new higher high. So this level might be a little bit more hairy. Price coming into this region might be a little bit more hairy, but keep an eye on that area as we come into it. If we base in front of that level, that'll invalidate that level, and the top score will go down. Looking at the Japanese yen, big move up in the yen in the overnights, really sets up this area. So yeah, we've rallied up very, very hard since yesterday, and that sets up this area down here as a potential going forward. So all in all, a fair amount of levels that we were able to add to the charts for today. I think the one that I like the most is maybe that crude oil level, that crude oil zone, that crude oil area is one that I think has some potential to it. But remember the rules. Keep your rules in place, and always understand that there's going to be trade opportunities that show up that you may not be comfortable taking because the zone is a little bit too wide, or maybe you don't like the way it arrives. If price comes into the level and it doesn't make its move in 6 candles, it's probably not going to make your move. And so understanding that rule has helped me a ton. If you got questions on it, please send us an email, support@tradersarmy.com. Remember to sign up if you're in the Atlanta area or you know a trader in the Atlanta area. Share it with them. Like I said, no pitch, just drinks. And I'll let you know what I'll let you buy. I'll let you buy me a drink. That's all. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great day.